everyone! Welcome to this YouTube video you're watching right now. This is Trout Mask Replica. This right here is considered the worst album of all time, made by Captain Beefheart and his magic band. And do I think it's worthy of its title? Yes, absolutely. Do I think you shouldn't listen to it? We're gonna find out. Because this 28-track album, that's an hour and 18 minutes long, I'm going to review every single song on this to see if you should listen to it or not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to review every single song 1 out of 5. The standards of ranking them are by entertainment value, if I find the track interesting, and also will I ever listen to it again, which most likely I won't. It's some of this stuff is really hard to listen to. Number 1, Frownland. You want to know what this song sounds like? Here we go. Frownland is one of the easiest songs to listen to out of this whole album. And coming from this album, that's saying a lot. Did you want to hear that again? Did you? I actually really like this song. This song is really ironic because it's called Frownland, but it's about something that's really happy. And while the song sounds really, really sad, it's almost sarcastic.
Take my hand and come with me. It's not too late for you if it's not too late for me.
It's really fun to scream. 4.5 stars. The next song is The Dust Blows Forward and The Dust Blows Back.
There's old Gray with her dove-wing hat. There's old Green with her sewing machine. Where's the bobbin at? Toting old grain in a printed sack. The dust blows forward and the dust blows back.
While Frownland was about happiness and it had a lot of music in it, Dust Blows Forward has no music at all, and it's about poverty and living in a bad situation.
Gonna die. A white flake riverboat just blew by. Bubbles pop big. And a lick.
This song, if you can call it that, it's more like a poetry reading. I like it, and there will be more speech poetry later in this album, and I do think this one's the best one. I just don't know if it should have came second. Maybe it could have went further into the album. 3.5 stars. Next up is Dachau Blues, which this song is so hard to listen to.
Balls and powder, blood and snow. Wall 2 reindeers and showers and skeletons.
What's it doing? Alright, Dachau Blues is an anti-war song about getting people to wake up because if they don't stop themselves, they're going to repeat themselves and do another World War II and go into World War III. Now this song is mostly about the Holocaust and all the real life stuff that happened during the Holocaust. And boy, is it scary. It's really scary.
Dachau Blues, those poor Jews. Dachau Blues, those poor Jews. Dachau Blues, those poor Jews.
The scariest thing in this whole song is when Beefheart talks about children who are crying so hard, their eyes roll back into ecstasy, which I really don't like that. I'm giving it 3 stars because I hate listening to this song. Next is Allegory! I love Allegory! This song is a love song about a girl who's really pretty and she's all natural, baby.
Now here she come walking, looking like a zoo. Hi Ella Guru.
Beefheart loves this girl, and because she's so beautiful, and she loves everything. This song also, ding ding ding, has the first instance of Fast and Bulbous, a wonderful running joke that's happening in this album. What does it mean? I don't know. I'm guessing she's fast and bulbous, but I love those words. I love those 2 words together.
Right, just dig it.
That's right, the mascara snake, fast and bulbous. Tight also.
Fast and bulbous. And tight also. 4.5 stars. Next is Hairpie Bake 1. I hate this song. This song is a hospital on fire. I hate this song so much. 1.5 stars. Next is Moonlight on Vermont. This is probably the second most famous song on the whole album because it sounds like a real song.
Moonlight on Vermont affected everybody even.
This song is okay. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. And it's also about anarchy.
A squid eating dough in a polyethylene bag is fast and bulbous. Got me?
That's the second Fast and Bulbous, and that's the only good thing about this track. This track is another love song. It's about like a man who really likes this woman, and he really likes his cars, and he's like comparing his women to his cars. It's not that interesting to me.
She wears her past like a present, takes her fancy in the past. A sedan skims along the floorboard, her 2 pipes humming carbon coal.
Like Prosciutto Cavaliere on track number 7, it doesn't really have a lot of bite to it, because the past songs, they feel like biting into an onion. This one has absolutely no bite. I would give this one 2 stars, just because it doesn't sound as bad as Hairpie Bake 1.
Quietly the rain played down our last of the ashes. Quietly the light played down on her lashes.
Bill's Corpse is not a song that musically works, but I really like the imagery the song's lyrics give me. Bill is not actually in the song. Bill is like the husband of the wife in this song, and the wife just experienced the loss of her husband, and she's really sad, and she's looking into the past. She's thinking about like, oh my God, I lost my husband. Oh, I miss my husband, and she's also really scared of her own mortality because now she's so old. Bill and her were really old together, but the narrator is like, hey, you need to wake up. Bill's dead, you're not. You need to start living your life. You're not really going to live a good life if you keep thinking about your dead husband.
That's not the kind of thoughts I'd like to keep. The rain played lightly down on the former heap.
4.5 stars, just because I find it interesting. And number 9 is Sweet Sweet Bulbs. Sweet Sweet Bulbs. It's a song about this guy who loves this girl. This girl grows flowers in a garden, and Beefheart wants to be so close to her he would share his toothbrush with.
In darker light, you're free to grow his flowers. Share her throne and use her toothbrush and spend some interesting hours.
This is another song that doesn't really have a lot of bite to it. It just seems like it's just a filler track from all the randomness and the craziness. This one doesn't go too far to the interesting category or too far into it's just so unlistenable category. The song gets 3 stars. It's right down the middle. Right after Sweet Sweet Bulbs, when you listen to this whole album, you're like, oh my God, did they just put all their best stuff on front? No, Neon Meat Dream of an Octafish is here to save you.
Artifact on rose petals, in flesh petals and pots. Fact in feast, in tubes, tubs, bulbs, in jest, incest, in jest, in just, in feast, incest.
Oh, this song's great.
Mucus mules, trot, trot, tra-la, 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 tra-la.
Neon Meat Dream of an Octafish is the most stupid song ever, and
Squirm in serum, in semen, in syrup, in semen, in serum, stirrup, in syrup.
Neon Meat Dream of an Octafish is so close to a 5-star, but I can't give it to it. I promised myself I will only give 1 5-star rating to one song in Trout Mask Replica, and that's not this one. but this one is really close with a 4.7. 4.7 stars because this song is so ridiculous.
Speckled speculation.
It's really funny. Oh, next up is My Human Gets Me Blues. My Human Gets Me Blues, the song, according to most people, is about a trans woman in the 60s who thinks and is scared that she is going to go to hell, but instead she goes to heaven because God really doesn't care.
Rings up in inches. You were afraid you'd be the devil's
Red wife. But it's all right, God dug your dance and would have you young and in his harem. Dress you the way he wants, 'cause he never had a doll. 'Cause everybody made him a boy. And God didn't think to ask his preference.
This is, for being the 60s, it was, I don't think was supposed to be progressive. I think it was supposed to be shocking, or it's probably trying to really gross out the audience or make them question their own religion, instead of being progressive. But I could be wrong. Captain Beefheart just might be freaking cool. 4 stars. 4 of them. Oh, well, I did this out of order. I lost China Pig. I don't want to kill my China Pig. Where the hell did my China Pig's part go? Alright, okay. I accidentally skipped over China Pig. China Pig is song number 11 that comes before My Human Gets Me Blues, but I accidentally record them backwards because my script's messed up. This one is recorded. This one was recorded off the cuff, and it actually sounds like a real song. But Captain Beefheart won't stop snorting.
I didn't want to kill my China Pig.
He snorts like a pig, which this song could have been on the radio if he just didn't snort. It also sounds like the recording's coming from a different room. Like they're in one room and they're actually recording from another. Which I actually like it because it sounds more laid back and I really like the sound. I would give this one a 4 stars. And also, it's really funny because on every single version of the CD, it brings up the fact it's so hard to understand what they're saying. They're just really guessing on what the lyrics are. So that's China Pig. I like China Pig. I wish I found my original script for it, but I hope that works. Dollys Car. This was the first song they made for Trout Mask Replica, and it was the first time Jeff Cotton was playing a song composed by Captain Beefheart, which is really hard because Captain Beefheart, he doesn't know what he's doing, almost. He's playing his song on a piano, and how are you supposed to play a piano score with a guitar? You can't do that. But he did it, Jeff Cotton. You're a great guy. 3 stars! Hairpie Bake 2. This one's a huge improvement from Hairpie Bake 1, because it makes me want to die less, but still not great. Two stars. I love this song. This is Pina, number 15. Pina features Fast and Bulbous, the best Fast and Bulbous on the entire album.
Fast and bulbous.
That's right, the mascara snake. Fast and bulbous.
Bulbous also tapered.
Yeah, but you've got to wait until I say. Also, a tin teardrop.
Oh, Christ.
Again, beginning.
Fast and bulbous.
That's right, the mascara snake. Fast and bulbous. Also, a tin teardrop.
Bulbous also tapered.
That's right.
And then it follows it with the most insane song I've ever heard. And I love it.
Pina, her little head clinking like a barrel of red velvet balls, full pass noise. Treats fill her eyes, turning them yellow like
This song is what I'm giving 5 stars, and I want to tell you why. Because Jeff Cotton, this guy haunts me with his performance.
Beautifully and crush a chandelier. Follow my stomach and view her from 1,000 different facets. Liquid red salt ran over crystals. I made a band-aid in the area side. Oh well, it was worth it.
It hurts to hear this song, and I can't stop listening to it. I really love this song. The lyrics themselves are so weirdly specific in certain areas, and the song is incredibly violent sounding.
If you're the white gold twinkly large in the red pocket, I'm tired of playing baby, she exclaimed.
There's just people screaming in the background. Just violently screaming the entire time. And then when the song ends and the vocals are done, there's even more screaming. This song is the sound of a child's fever dream with Saturday morning cartoons just blasting in the background.
I'm tired of playing baby, she exclaimed. And out of a blue felt box let escape one yellow butterfly the same size. Its droppings were tiny green phosphorus worms. Pina exclaimed,
"That's the raspberries!" After Pina, it starts to wane a little bit. Next is Well, which I don't really like that much. I don't really like Well at all. It's another one of those songs where it's just Captain Beefheart, and he's just talking. He's just doing some slam poetry.
Light floats down the river on a red raft of blood. Night blocks out the heaven like a big black shiny bug.
And there's no rhythm to how he's singing it, but he is singing the song, and he just says certain words randomly. It's just annoying to me. Which, weird, because Pina I don't find annoying, but I find Well extremely annoying, and because it's just nothing there. I want something. I want more. It's about darkness developing heaven, to completely taking over heaven and everything around it, including the person's mind who's singing it. And he's really depressed. I give it a 1 star because I think this whole album could have been better without it. Get out of here. Get out of here, Well. When Big Joan sets up. Allegory is about a pretty woman. This one's about a really ugly one.
When Big Joan sets up, her hands are too small. She's too fat to go out in the daylight, so she rolls around all night.
Big Joan is ugly and disgusting. And I'm going to list you every single thing Joan is described as. There's a woman who's crazy fat. She has small arms, a big round head, and must have the tiniest hands in the world because Beefheart says that her hands are too small 5 times in the song. How small can this woman's hands be?
She ain't built for going naked, so she can't wear any new clothes or go to the beach. They laugh at her body cause her hands are too small. When Big Joan sets up, her hands are too small.
How tiny are her hands? Her arms are already small. 4 stars. Fallen Ditch.
Rocket Morton takes off again into the wind.
What do you run on, Rocket Morton? Say beans.
I run on beans. I run on laser beams.
I run on beans. I run on laser beans. Being the 18th song of this album, this is like the mid tier. It's a complete low. The whole song doesn't need to even be here, and I really don't like it.
Oh, when I'm smiling, my face wrinkles up real warm. Oh, when I'm frowning, days just turn to stone.
But because I don't like it, it actually enhances the whole album because it is the worst album of all time, so I can't really complain too much. I give it 2 stars just because I love the intro. If the intro wasn't there, I would give it probably half a star. I don't like Fallen Ditch. Next is Sugar and Spikes, which I really enjoy, which is a shame because I feel like if anyone like the Rolling Stones covered this song, it probably would have been a huge hit.
In Corn sugar and spikes in neon nights, in walks and lights and chains. Carving smoke, hooping hope, gone the sky rush by. Fall back and dark, fall back and dark.
Like, the song sounds pretty good until you get to like a part where it just sounds like the entire song's just being like completely devoured by a shredder. If that wasn't there, I would actually recommend this song as is to like every Halloween party. It's not that bad of a song, but it's in Trout Mask Replica, so most likely it's not going to work out at your Halloween shindig. But I still give it 4.5 stars. We finally made it to song number 20. It is Antman B, which is another song that surprisingly isn't that bad.
White ants running, black ants crawling, yellow ants dreaming, brown ants longing.
There's some parts I really like. The song about ants and humans and how we're just following along and we're just being little angry people all the time, destroying each other. It's a nice little song about hating humanity.
Wall's still running on. Said one lump of sugar that they won't leave each other alone.
And it would have been passable, and I would have said nothing crazy about it, except Captain Beefheart is Captain Beefheart, and he plays a tenor and a soprano saxophone at the exact same time. Three and a half stars. I like it. The last two songs I really like, but now it's another one of those songs where nothing happens except for Captain Beefheart just doing his poetry. And out of the 3 entries, this one's the worst one. It's Orange Claw Hammer.
A thick cloud caught a piper cub's tail, a match struck blue on a railroad rail. The old puff Horace was just pulling through.
It's poetry about a hopeless person who was a pirate and he saw his daughter. It has 12 verses and it's not interesting, and I want music. This isn't music. I give it 1 star too. And then we follow up that one, which is probably like the worst song on the album, with another song that I despise. This one is Wildlife. I guess Captain Beefheart was doing this on purpose and wanting to make a song that was really infuriating to listen to. I don't know. He's dead. I can't hear what he's thinking.
Wildlife, along with my life. I'm going up on the mountain for the rest of my life. Before they take my life, before they take my wildlife, before they take my wife.
But Wildlife is just constant repeating of the same thing, and it really hurts my ears. I really don't like it either. 1 star. This part of the album it's so hard to get through. It's climbing a really tall hill, and I haven't drank any water today. I'm very dehydrated. I want to go home.
Here you would have a famous version of She's Too Much for My Mirror. Note the Clever Slate. She's too much for my or anybody's mirror, number 2. Told you.
This song makes me feel a little better.
Make me long for that little red farm. She make things fly, she make things roll. She got me way over here and I'm hungry and cold.
It starts out like I'm gonna hate this song, but it has a little like twang to it and like an upward positive vibe. It puts me out of that slump that the last 2 songs gave me, and it makes me feel a little bit better.
Oh, Chicago, she's a woman that make a young man a bum.
It's another one of those songs I wish like someone other than Captain Beefheart was making it, so I could actually listen to this every day. And not want to grind my teeth, but I still like the song. I give this one a solid 3, and it reminds me of a schoolhouse rock song. Number 24, Hobo Chang Ba. This song takes place an hour and 6 minutes into this album, and boy does it wake you up.
Starwood claw landing my jaw. I can't call it music, it's just something soothing. Feather time's a feather, morning time to thaw. Hobo chamber, hobo chamber.
You have Captain Beefheart screaming like a hobo. He's doing his best hobo impression and talking about the life of a hobo.
Hobo chamber, hobo chamber, hobo chamber. Hobo chamber.
This song's a cold shower, and I like it for that. It really wakes you up. And just for that alone, I'm giving it 4 stars. I like the stupid commitment to doing that stupid hobo sound. Next. Oh yeah, you should be excited. The next one is awesome. This song takes place perfectly. Perfectly. Oh, I love it. This song is song number 25. It's the Blimp, otherwise known as Mousetrap Replica. This song is a live reaction of Frank Zappa, who is the producer of this album, longtime friend of Captain Beefheart, who somehow convinced him to give him all the money in the world and all the studio time to make whatever he wanted, which was Trout Mask Replica. Frank Zappa is being presented with this song that was made for him, the guy who's giving them all this money to do this stuff. And the thing they show him is the funniest thing of the entire album.
You ready? Okay, go.
Master, this is recorded through a fly ear, and you have to have a fly's eye to see it. It's the thing that's gonna make Captain Beefheart and his magic band fat. Frank, it's the big hit. It's the Blimp. It's the Blimp, Frank. It's the Blimp.
Before the news report starts, it's like, listen, Frank Zappa. Listen, Frank Zappa, listen up. Here is the song that's going to make us big. This is the song that's going to make us rich and put Captain Beefheart on the map. And then he just shouts, it's the Blimp! It's the Blimp!
From the Blimp! Children, stop your nursing unless you're rendering fun. The mothership's the one. The Blimp! The tape's a trip. It's a trailer tail. It's traipsing along behind the Blimp.
Oh, I love this song as is, but then it gets better because right after the Blimp showcases, you get Captain Beefheart and Frank Zappa back on the phone, and it was like, what'd you think?
Hello? Sure did. It's beautiful. I think that we have enough on the tape to just use that as is for the album. Okay, I'm gonna listen to it back now. I gotta go back to work.
It's really good. I gotta go back to work. Don't worry. Apparently Frank Zappa really didn't care about this album. Apparently he thought it was a joke. Everyone else, it wasn't a joke, but to Frank Zappa, it was a huge joke, and he really wanted to get back to doing serious stuff because he really had no time for Captain Beefheart and his dumb shenanigans. I love this song. 4.9 stars out of 5. I already used my 5-star for the day, but that would be my second 5-star if I didn't limit myself to 1 5-star. We have now come to the final 3 of Trout Mask Replica. We're almost out of this, folks. Thank you so much for sitting with me, but now it's time to start wrapping this whole thing up. I wish I had more to say about number 26, Steal Softly Through Snow. I've listened to the song 10 times now, and I still have nothing else to say about it.
Man lived a million years, and still he kills. The black paper between a mirror breaks my heart that I can't go. Steal softly through sunshine, steal softly through snow.
1.5 stars. You see this awesome picture This is Trout Mask Replica. This is the picture. You think this picture has nothing to do with the album? You are absolutely wrong, because they give this guy, this character right here, he has his own backstory. Old Fart at Play is a really nice children's book sounding thing.
Happy with the khaki sweatband, bowed goat pot-bellied barnyard that only he noticed. The old fart was smart. The old gold cloth Madonna. Dancing to the fiddle and saw, he ran down behind the knoll and slipped on his wooden fish head. The mouth worked and snapped all the bees back to the bungalow.
It's just as ridiculous as the Blimp, Octafish, and Pina. Not as entertaining to me personally, but I do like the song. Old Fart at Play, I like it, and I think it's a nice way to close out the album for the last three.
From the outside we observed that the nose of the wooden mask, where the holes had just been a moment ago, was now smooth, amazingly blended, camouflaged in with the very intricate rainbow trout replica. The old fart inside was now breathing freely.
It's really funny that they gave a whole backstory to this character that's on the cover, which you wouldn't even know that was there until you have to sit through an hour and like 18 minutes. This could have been the first track. This could have gone anywhere on the album, and I'm glad they chose it for the end. It's almost like a reward for sticking around. Is like, hey, you want the secret on this guy? This guy here? 4 stars. Alright, this is the last song off Trout Mask Replica. This is number 28, which is Veterans Day Poppy. This song is pretty awesome. When I first heard it, the first initial thing I heard was, it was like, it's just going to end on this usual thing. It's going to sound like Sweet Sweet Bulbs or Catavere, and it's going to sound like every other Captain Beefheart song that doesn't have any bite to it. Veterans Day Poppy, when it starts off, is a song about a guy whose son died in the war, and he doesn't want a poppy. He doesn't want something to remember his son with. He wants just his son back. And it starts off really heavy and angry.
I cry, I can't buy your Veterans Day Poppy. It don't get me high, it can only make me cry. It can never grow another son.
And then out of nowhere, it switches from this guttural song, and which actually doesn't sound too bad now that I've been listening to it a lot more. But initial viewing, I really didn't like this too much. But then it switches from that into this very sweet, mournful riff, which sounds really modern to today's standards. And for 1969, it's really ahead of its time for this sound they were able to make. I find that so beautiful. The end of Veterans Day Poppy is so sweet and somber. It's such a rewarding sound after listening to it, and you listen to it for an hour and 18 minutes. And I was on my 10th time listening to this thing in a row. I wanted to cry so hard because I was so glad I got over it. In fact, that little riff there makes sitting through the entire album worth it. Just to listen to that and saying like, yeah, I just climbed this huge mountain, but now I get to enjoy the view, and the view is awesome. I give this one a 4.5 stars. I'm not going to give it anything higher because It takes a long time to get to that part, and it takes a whole album to get to that part. But I really like that song. Now, do I think you should listen to Trout Mask Replica? Yes, at least once. Because it's really rewarding to listen to music that just hurts. That just hurts a little bit. Being human means being sad once in a while, and sometimes you need to feel sad, uncomfortable, scared, and blissful, all in one experience. It's about a movie length. This thing is a movie! Well, I guess I'm done. I hope I was in focus the whole time.